Hey guys, welcome back to Double 100 MCQ series. I am Thangapandi, an aspiring data analyst, and I am your business data analytics mentor. So far we have seen 200 MCQs for FM. Today we are going to discuss about 50 MCQs for business data analytics. Fairly, we covered 250 MCQs for paper 11 alone. So to get access to this document, you can check in the link in the description. You can buy it at in a nominal cost. So without getting any further delay, let's get into today's video. The first question is that numerical data may be expressed as. So before discussing the question, let me give some tips so that we can easily guess the answer. So before you writing your answer, make sure you understand the question properly. So you have to understand the question properly. And also you can find some keywords in the question so that we can match the answer in the options. And also we can eliminate the incorrect answers in the options so that we can easily able to find the correct one. So let's get into the first question is that the numerical data may be expressed as dash. So the options is text, quantities, images, and all of the above. So we have to be conscious here because they are asking that numerical data may be expressed as, so that the answer will be all of the above. Let me explain it. So the text can be expressed as numerical data. Yes, it can be expressed as numerical data by vectorizing the text. We can easily vectorize text data like 1 0 and likewise. So quantities or the numbers, so we can, it is a numerical data. So images can be expressed as numerical data as matrix form. So all of the above is the right answer. So let's discuss the second question. So which of the following is not a data validation technique? So we have to be conscious here. They are asking which is not a data validation technique. So let's discuss the options. The code check, range check, and length check, and consistency check. So code check is that we are writing some code for data analysis. So we have to validate that. So it have to be a technique. So range check, we are checking the range of the inputs, whether we are getting the values within the range or something. So it have to be a technique. And length check, it is also have to be a technique. But consistency check is the incorrect one. So option D is the right answer because we are not going to check the consistency whether the inputs are coming and consistently the model is predicting on like that. So because data analysis is a predictive technique, not a consistency one. So option D is the right answer. Third one, X be oral is an observation. So we have to understand the main context in the chapter so that we can answer this question. XBRL stands for Extensible Business Reporting Language. It is a standardized one. We have to read it so that we can able to answer this question. So fourth one, which of the following is a type of cloud computing? So they are in the option, they give private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud. They are all the types of clouds. So all of the above is the right answer. So fifth one is the which of the following is the widely used graph for data visualization? So bar graph, pie chart, and histograms are always broadly used by the users. So we can see bar chart everywhere and pie chart and also the histogram where we use to represent the frequencies. So all of the above is the right answer. Sixth one, binomial distribution applies to attributes that are categorized into. So as I say, we can able to predict the answer by using the keyword. So here binomial distribution. So here itself they mentioned the word binomial. So by means two. By predicting it, the answer will be the option A. Two mutually exclusive classes, and also the two exclusive classes are a success class and a failure class. We already discussed in the chapter. If you have a time, go and check those videos. There we explain everything about business data analytics clearly. So let's move on to the seventh question. To make the data turn into an user-friendly information, one should go one or more of the following core steps. So they're asking, what are the core steps to turn the data into an user-friendly information. So data collection, data organization, data processing, all of these steps are needed. So all of the above is the right answer. Data science plays an important role in TAS. It's risk analytics, customer management, consumer yes for predicting some risk. We have we can use data analysis. Data analysis helps in customer data management. We can segregate some customers also. By consumer analytics, we can understand the consumers so that we can improve our sales. So all of the above is the right answer here. So ninth one is maps may be used for displaying what. So let us discuss the options. Pin code, country name, state abbreviations. To for to identify some states, we can use maps. For also countries, we can use maps to represent pin code. So these all are the geographical input. So all of the above is the right answer for the ninth question. Let's move on to the 10th one. Data represented in the form of picture is termed as picture. So it is not a qualitative one. So text data or we can say as a qualitative one. And quantity, the data which can be expressed in numbers can be is called as quantitative data. So graphical data is the right answer here. Let's move on to the 11th question. So the primary benefit of data distribution is so database distribution is a chapter we have discussed in the business data analytics class. So before in that class itself, I told is that the data distribution, the main thing we are going to apply the data distribution techniques for a sequence sample space. So we are not going to take the whole data, we are going to use a sample set of data. Using that sample, we are going to observe some distribution. So option A is the right answer. The estimation of the distribution within a sample space is the right answer for this question. So let's move on to the 12th question. So which of the following are the benefits of data analytics? So improves decision making process, increase in efficiency of operations, improve service to stakeholders. It's of course it helps in improving the decision making process. It increases the efficiency of operations too. It helps the stakeholders. Stakeholders are the contributors or the investors. It also helps the stakeholders too. So all of the above is the right answer for the 12th question. A scatter plot displays several unique data points on a dash, on a single graph or on two graph, on four different graphs. So we can visualize the scatter plot. It is a single graph. It has some x and y axis. So option A is the right answer. So the descriptive data may be described as so maybe in the form of qualitative. So description. So by using that keyword descriptive data. So what are the descriptive data? It is the data. It is expressed as a text or a group of documents or anything. So they are the qualitative information. So option A is the right answer. It is not a quantitative information. It is not any numbers. It is not from the information source. It's like a graphic or anything. So option A is the right answer. Which of the following is the reason for digitalization? So let's discuss the option. Helps in work processing. So by digitalization, yes, of course, it helps in work processing. Like the data is huge for processing. It helps in those kind of scenarios. Requires less physical storage. So compared to the normal techniques, by using digitalization, the physical storages are less. So because we are using cloud storage, it is also one of the main reason. So digitalized records may be accessed more than one person simultaneously, yet it improves consistency of usage. So all of the above is the right answer. Let's move on to the question number 16. The probability density function describes what? So the probability density function. So as we studied in the probability of data distributions, we have discussed that the characteristics of a random variable, it keeps on changing. So for those kind of situations, we can use the probability density function. Option A is the right answer for the 16th question. And let's move on to the 17th one. The geometric distribution is a discrete distribution that acts as for the what? It so let's eliminate the answer. The geometric distribution, it does not represents the occurrence of the second sexes. It's not It does not for the third sexes. The probability of the occurrence of the less sexes, it's not. The for option A is the right answer. While studying in the data is distributions itself, I told that the dominant distribution is the validation for the probability of the occurrence of the first sexes. So let's move on to the 18th question. Following are the data DPA. So DPA stands for Data Presentation Architecture. So they have given some scopes of data presentation architecture. Which of them are true? We have to discuss. So defining a significant meaning. So option A, yes. Before before we are structuring the architecture, we have to define significant meaning. So for what are the data we are going to collect for the presentation. So obtaining the proper data, yes, it is also a scope of DPA, determining the needed for frequency of data. So it refers to how many times we are going to refresh our data so that the presentation are also going to change. So we studied this in the ninth chapter by in the BDA class. So all of the above is the right answer. 19th question. Following are the techniques of data mining. So yes, association rules is a technique. Neural network is a technique. Decision tree is a technique. So decision tree where we build model like decision tree like structure by classifying yes or no questions. So neural network, yes, we are creating an artificial neural network using deep learning. Association rules, yes, it is used in market basket analysis. So all of the above is the right answer. XML stands for, we already seen for XBRL. So these are the two terms we seen in the PDA overall. That is XBRL and XML. Both are starts with extensible. So be conscious that if they ask for abbreviation for XML or XBRL, extensible is going to be the starting one. So option A is the right answer. Let's move to question number 21. Which of the following is not an objective of digitalization? We have to be conscious. They are asking not the objective. So weight split of axis, yes, it is an objective. Preservation of data, yes, it is the main objective. So option A and B are the two main objectives of digitalization. Large group of users, yes, we have to make sure that large group of users can access the data. Large physical storage, so large physical storage, it's not an objective. Before in the scope itself we say that for digitalization we uses cloud storage, we does not use physical storage, so this is not an objective. So option D is the right answer. For 22, cluster analysis is the process of assigning a set of data to subset of the observation can be made. Cluster analysis is the part of what machine learning technique? They are asking that. Supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement technique. So, while looking at the cluster analysis, we are going to group the data. So, there is no label there. So, the answer is unsupervised learning. So the model we are using some unlabeled data and we are going to categorize is called as unsupervised machine learning technique. So option B is the right answer. Which of the following is not a technique of data mining? So K in an algorithm. Yes, it is an data mining technique. Neural network we already seen, and decision tree solid. But predictive analysis, it's not a data mining technique. It is the key difference between data mining and data analysis. In data analysis we are also going to predict what will be happen in the future, but in data mining we are just exploring the data and get as much information from the data. So let's move on to question number 24. Dash represents a project timeline or activity changes across time. So the keyword is here is the project timeline. So for project timeline purpose, we are using Gantt charts. So in our college also we use some Gantt charts to represent the timeline, like where we started, when we started, and how much time we required for some process and so on, and what will be the deadline. So for bubble chart we doesn't use, it is like a bubble like structures, we doesn't use that. In density maps are also not used here. Gantt chart is the right answer. Let's move on to 25. DAS architecture enables business to store more sensitive data on premises. So the first keyword is on premises and access it through a host in the public cloud. So to store sensitive data on premises, it says like we are using some private clouds. and it is hosted by the public cloud. So we are combining the private cloud and the public cloud. So it is an hybrid cloud technique. Option C is the right answer. Let's move on to 26. In which scale used for quantifying qualitative data in an arbitrary 0 point? The keyword is that arbitrarily 0 point. It is not a true 0 point. We are choosing the 0 point arbitrarily. So first let's look the options. For nominal scale, we are not using any 0 point there. We are just nominally select some ranges in nominal scale. In ratio scale, we use a true 0 point to represent the data. In ordinal scale, we rank the data, but the data is not represented in any range or any 0 point. But in interval scale, we are using arbitrarily 0 point. In the 8th chapter, we seen this. So to get more knowledge about this question, take a look on those videos and try to learn completely so that we can easily clear the MCQs. Let's move on to question number 27. Data analytics uses that to get insights from data. So what? Let's look the options: statistical figures, numerical aspects, statistical methods. So all are can be used, but the most important is that statistical methods like mean, median, mode, like data distributions are commonly used for data analytics, and some probability techniques also used. So statistical methods is the right answer. Of course we are used some numerical, but it's not so up to the usage. So statistical methods is the right answer. Among which of the following or the true about regression analysis? So regression is something we are going to predict some continuous values. So let's look the options. Option A, describing associations. No, it's not. It's not, because for association rule mining only we segregate some association so that we found the relationship between the customers. So let's discuss the option B, modeling relationship with data. Yes, it may be an answer. Let's eliminate. So option, let's see the option C. Answering yes or no question, it will not, because it is a classification technique. So it is not a regression technique. So option B is the right answer here. Modern relationship within the data. Yes. For understanding the relation between X and Y data, we can use regression technique. When these information is used for solving a problem, we may it's the use of dash. They are asking if you're using some information for solving a problem, we what in addition with the information what we require, we require the knowledge. So we studied it in the 8th chapter by differentiating what is data, what is information, and knowledge. So option A is the right answer. And there are primarily dash basic objectives of digitalization. As I discussed before, there are main two objectives which are the during digitalization the data can be accessed to a large number of users, and also the data can be productive. These are the basic objectives. So option B is the right answer here. Let's move on to the question number 31. By the term dash we mean the data expressed in numbers. So numbers, it's obviously quantitative. So be careful while selecting the difference between qualitative and quantitative. They both look similar. Sometimes we may choose qualitative instead of quantitative by not seeing the spelling properly. So be conscious. So let's move on to the next question. Daily stock price of Tata Steel Limited is an example of dash data. The stock price will be expressed in numbers. So it option A will be the right answer. Is numerical data. It's not a variable one, and it is not a resource data or anything. Data is a data of information. Data is a source of information. Yes, because the data has the source of information and the information has the source of knowledge. So option A is the right answer. It nominal will not come. It is not a nominal thing, and graphic it will not do. So the data can be a raw one, not a graphic one. So answer A is the right answer. Data organization is the task of unstructured data into distinct groups. They are talking about data organization. It is like classifying the unstructured data. Like we doesn't know about anything about the data. We are the one who is going to classify them and put into some distinct groups. So option A is the right answer. Mm, Classification, frequency distribution tables, dash, graphical representation, etc. are examples of data organization techniques. So they are saying that data organization techniques which are the techniques we are going to use for data organization. So for this, image representation will be the answer, because for data organization, we does not use the numerical representation. We are only using the image-like thing and classification tables. So let's move on to the 36th question. The distribution or students distribution is a probability distribution with a bell shape. So here the keyword is the bell shape. So bell shape. So by seeing the bell shape, we identified that it is they are talking about the normal distribution technique. That is symmetrical about its dash, a mean or median or mode. On the ninth chapter, we discussed about the data distribution techniques broadly. So if you have time, please look on to those videos to get some more knowledge about it. So they are talking about a bell-shaped curve. The curve will be like this. It is symmetrical up to its mean value. So they are saying that within the upper limit and the lower limit, by the center of the mean value, the data is distributed in the normal distribution. So option A will be the right answer here. So let's move on to the next question. So sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. So 37th one, dash is the process of correcting or deleting inaccuracy. So here the keyword, it is from the beginning itself, that is correcting or deleting. So correcting or deleting inaccurate, corrupted, or improperly formatted, or duplicate or insufficient data is the process of data cleaning. So we understand in the steps for data analysis, data cleaning plays a major role there for correcting and deleting inappropriate data and make it clear so that we can get some useful information from that. So option A is the right answer. Data may be classified as restricted, as, or public by an entity. So data has to be restricted as dash as an entity. So we have to differentiate as private entities and public entities. So answer will is private entity. A dash is a circular graphical representation. Here the keyword is a circular graphical representation of statistical data that is segmented to demonstrate numerical proportion. So for proportion, we use pie chart. Um, by also with the keyword circular graphical representation, we can identify the answer as pie chart, because the bar chart is not represented as a circular thing and the line chart too. So pie chart is the right answer here. Let's move on to the question number 40. If the data is related to a geographic information like longitude or latitudes, dash or simple and effective approach to illustrate the relationship. Either it can be a bubble chart or a map or a pie chart or slide. So map can be used so that we can easily represent the geographic information. Option A is the right answer. Let's move on to question number 41. Does indicate pattern or relative concentration that might otherwise be observed by overlapping marks on a map, allowing to identify areas with larger or lesser number of data points. So to identify the area with larger or lesser amount of data points, we can use density maps. So histogram. So we can eliminate the options like histograms are used for frequencies. Line chart is used when timeline is involved, and none will be not the answer. And that indicate that density maps are the right answer because for representing a larger and lesser value within the data representation, we use density maps. So have a visualization in your mind, like how a histogram looks, how a density map looks. It will help you to answer these kinds of questions. So let's move on to the next one. Data on insights able to decision makers visualize data and dash analysis. So by reading the question itself, we can find that decision makers relate to decision analysis. So option A will be the right answer. Often confused with data visualization, data representative architecture is a must dash skill set. It is a broader skill set because we have to clearly identify the differentiation between data visualization and data presentation architecture. So it also requires some broader skills to master those skills to be a successful data analyst in your career. So let's move on to the next question, number 42. Primarily utilized for deep learning algorithms. Does replicate the interconnection of the human brain. The artificial human brain, it for we will use neural network techniques to implement deep learnings by implementing certain layers like input layer, hidden layer, and the output layer. So option A will be the right answer. Data mining typically involves how many steps? So let's discuss the data mining steps. The first will be we have to set a clear objective for what we are going to find and what are the things we need to do. Second, we have to prepare the data for that. And in the third stage, we choose some models like addition tree or association tree according to our problems in the third step and implement the model. In finally, we just monitor and review our mining process. So it broadly involves four steps. So option C will be the right answer. Data dash techniques are utilized to develop descriptions and hypotheses. So we have to clearly understand what is description and what is hypothesis. So for in data analysis, it mainly focused on prediction purpose. If for data mining techniques, it is mainly focused on description and hypothesis so that we can extract as much information from the data. So option A, data mining will be the right answer. Data analytics helps us to identify patterns in a raw data and extract useful information from them. Identify patterns in the raw data. So from the data only we are going to extract the information. Option B, data will be the right answer. 48 through smart dash analytics data mining as encouraged. So it is like an entry level questions. So through smart data analytics, we can enhance the data mining techniques to in decision making purpose. So let's move on to 49th question. Dash is the process of acquiring a set of major variables in order to reduce the number of random variables under consideration. So let's look at the options. They give dimensionality reduction. This is one of the machine learning technique. Reinforcement learning, semi-supervised and unsupervised learning. So in the question itself, they mentioned that they a set of major variables in order to reduce the number of random variables. So to reduce by seeing the keyword reduce itself, we can find the answer that dimensionality reduction will be used. So by more explaining this question, so dimensionality reduction is a technique used to reduce the number of columns in the data, that is the variables in the data. So option A, dimensionality reduction will be the right answer. To get more about it, please check the 10th chapter of our BDA class. In that I have explained it very detailedly. So let's move on to the last but not the least. Which of the following is not a benefit of RPA? It is one of the critical question. They are asking which is not a benefit of RPA. We have to understand what is RPA first. RPA stands for robotic analysis. So for RPA, what will is not the benefit? So RPA is higher protect. productivity. It's not so productive. It is higher, I guess. No, the robotic process, it's not so productive. The robotic process automation, it it is not so cost effective itself. So none of the above is the answer. So to get more about RPA, so please look on to the 10th chapter. There we discussed more about robotic process automation. So far we have completed the 50 questions. If you have any doubt, please comment it and let me know. If you like the video also, keep commenting and keep asking doubts so that I can easily discuss with you and share my explanation for your questions. So thank you. Stay tuned for more videos and please subscribe Hari CA, CS and CMA Academy for more videos. Until see you next time, it's Chota bye bye from your mentor Tangapandi.